Kazakhstan is one of the most multinational countries which gathered representatives of more than 130 ethnicities and nations. Each ethnicity has unique traditions, inimitable holidays, interesting stories and amazing recipes. Recipes of kindness and peace, recipes of respect to your own roots and other people's culture, recipes for friendship. Hello, this is Recipe for Friendship program. My name is Aleftina Madyarova, and today, as usual, we will swell in the customs and rituals of the peoples inhabiting Kazakhstan. Today, I will tell you about the culture of the Turkish ethnic group. We will see the dances and listen to their music. We will cook and sing, and of course, we will get acquainted with interesting people. The Turkish diaspora is considered one of the youngest and fastest growing in the world. And in our country there are mostly Turk Aishka, or as they are also called, Meskhetian Turks. But this time we will have an opportunity to compare the details of the way of life and culture of this ethnos with the culture of the Ottomans. In today's program, recipe for a simple and delicious homemade dish from the Mediterranean coast. Tamam. Togra, chok chok, evet. So we should cut our fasil. Here it is for you, Mediterranean cuisine in all its glory. Healthy, natural from those ingredients that grow literally in your garden. Evet. Everything is simple. Everything is fine. Everything is homemade, and I assure you it will be very delicious. This story about Turkish musical instruments. When I play on the spoon and sing, I myself, without noticing, begin to dance and move to the beat of the music. It's in the blood of Turkish girls. We can't live otherwise. It's like coquetry. It's everywhere. As well as a beautiful wedding ceremony of Meskhetian Turks, a story about an exciting game and other entertaining discoveries. The ethnonym of the Turks means strong, resilient. In Turkish, the Turk is a Turk or a representative of the Turkic language family. This group of languages includes also Kazakh. So there are a lot of similar words in our languages. In one of the previous issues, we plunged into the culture and life of the Turks of Aiska, who live in the Almaty region. Turks Aiska used to live in Georgia until 1944 in the southern regions of Georgia. By the will of fate, today they live in 10 different countries of the world. Sadir Ayubov, a native of the Almaty region, and today he's on the board of the organization that for the Turks of Aiska matters the most. Being scattered by destiny in 9 countries of the world, Aiska not only tried to preserve their traditions, they created a unified structure uniting this ethnos regardless of the country of residence. I have to travel to all these 9 countries where the Turks live, and when I come to Kazakhstan from trips, I always thank the Almighty and say the glory of Allah that we, 200,000 people, are living in Kazakhstan. We live much better today than Turks, Meskhetians in all other states. It should be noted that there are about 500,000 representatives of this nation around the world. The overwhelming majority of them are in the south of Kazakhstan. More than 200,000 Turks Aiska in Kazakhstan live mainly in the Shymkent region, the southern Kazakhstan region, the Jambul region, and a large number in the Diamond and the Almaty region. Judging by the amount of bread that is baked, usually a lot of people gather for the holidays. Do Turks live in large families? Large families. That means you have to have so many pans to cook in one house. Each house has at least 10 to 12 frying pans, because one set of bread is 10 to 12 pieces. The responsibilities in such large communities are distributed and harmonized. While men are busy organizing, transporting and purchasing, women are covering the preparation and cooking. Well, I have the impression that here there are so many people present and no one is sitting idle. Each has its own function. You know, when we do big events like getting married, like matchmaking, like any activities when a lot of people gather, they're neighbors, all cousins, second cousins, all of them. There are a lot of helpers. Sometimes you do not know who to instruct. You know, this is probably one of such nationalities who have kept the tradition of making such big holidays at home. This is under the power of our women. The motive for which the guests gathered in the house today and is preparing a treat is greeting the bride. Traditionally, before the young housewife crosses the threshold of her new home, she should pass the test and establish her rights. The test is to break the plate from the first step with a heel specially prepared for it. Moreover, usually a plate is placed on the cauldron, which symbolizes the house, a full cup. Well, the plate is successfully broken and the young woman enters the house. Her fingers are dipped in honey, with which they lubricate the lintel. The groom, according to an ancient custom, demonstrates a false reluctance to marry, and friends that accompany him jokingly kick him out of their company, pushing into the new house as if by force. Of course, all this is accompanied by dancing where young men compete in the distance and skill of execution. The bride, or I will rather say a young wife, now meets her new relatives. According to tradition, it is proper for her to wipe the imaginary tears because she has forever bid farewell to her father's house and to every congratulate to bow. Many people of the East have a joke that the more diligent the young woman will bow, the more gifts she will receive for the wedding. Everything in the East is finished according to rules and conventions. When the East joins the Caucasus, the conventions and rules become twice as large. Soon our bride will become a full-fledged mistress in this house, and I invite you to a festive table. Hot, lavish bread is ready, and traditionally the first loaf is sent to the main table, where the most honorable guests sit. These are the elders of the community. The owner of the house breaks the bread, treating everyone in turn, and at the table sound good wishes and words of gratitude. Elders are also served the first dish with pilau. Oh, these are those fried pieces. These are my favorite pieces, the most delicious food is. Men and women are sitting at separate tables on holidays. But in the end, everyone will dance together. Music and dances of the peoples of the East can turn anyone's head, and although the melodies and instruments typical for Meskhetian music and Ottoman music are different, they have general spirit and similar rhythms, of course, and won't deceive anyone. What kind of musical instruments are characteristic of Ottoman music? Saz or baglama, kemancha, tar, zona, nagara. Not all ensembles have all at once. Kanun or ganun looks like a gusli and is known in the Balkans, Turkey and the Caucasus since antiquity. Musician of the 17th century, the author of the book Risale Musiki Dervish Ali believed that the ganun was invented by the ancient Greeks. A modern well-known form has replaced the Black Sea Kemanchi or Kebab Kemani. Songs about love cannot be performed without a violin. A tambourine or a drum, of course, sets the rhythm. In Istanbul, for example, there are quarters where in the course of a fun version of karaoke, the company calls to its table a live ensemble and with such colorful accompaniment sings their favorite songs. I have to say it looks very impressive. There is one more traditional instrument in Turkish music, but with it our acquaintance took place in an atmosphere much more academic. The Turkic Youth Choir, which annually meets on the initiative of the International Organization of Turkic Culture with the same name, presented us with many pleasant surprises. Vocalists from Turkey, Azerbaijan, Kazakhstan and Kyrgyzstan sing here. When I play on the spoons and sing, I myself, without noticing, start to dance and move to the music. It's in the blood of Turkish girls. We cannot live otherwise. It's like coquetry. It's everywhere. These spoons are an original folk instrument and resembles castanets remotely. Traditional dance with spoons, kashik, perform at weddings and festivities in honor of the birth of a child, beating the rhythm with spoons, rhythm in the streets, but as you can see in the classical choral art, they were quite appropriate. The repertoire of the choir by Turks is also very eclectic. A classic, folklore of different peoples, and each of participants likes something of their own. I love the Turkish Ben Giderim Batuma. But as they say, music is not alone.
Ben giderim Batum'a da Batum'un otağına, ben giderim Batum'a da Batum'un otağına, pencereden içeri al beni otağına, pencereden içeri al beni otağına.
Nazlı yarın geldin sana, İstanbul'u toplasa, kemençeler çalınıyor, bize horon oynasa.
Another favorite kind of entertainment in the Turkish tradition is tavlas board game. In different countries it is called as well backgammon, shishbash, trick-track or even tableau, and the rules of the game may differ. Doubts are not raised by the fact that backgammon or tabla is from the East, but from which country specifically? There is a beautiful legend about how the Indian king will send a gift to the Persian ruler chess, secretly hoping that the Persians will not be able to understand the rules of the game. The villainy was premature and soon came to the answer with another version of the game and the addition of new fun which already the Indians had to figure out. The fun of this was, of course, backgammon, and the Indians could not master them for 12 years. Another legend tells that it is India that is the birthplace of this game, as indeed many other mathematical discoveries and inventions. The oldest backgammon board dates back to the 3rd millennium BC and was found in Middle Asia. Something similar to it was found by scientists and during the excavation of the tomb of Tutankhamun. played them, and in ancient Rome and in Persia, for example, predicted on this board the fate of the wars. In Turkey, it's a folk game, and it has another name, is OK. Coming up in the program, Introduction to Turkish Cuisine. We start to master the Turkish cuisine. Teslim Kanum is our guide today, and judging by this set of ingredients, we will cook beans. Teslima Kanum, my new friend, choose a light, summer dish for cooking. Green bean stew. Fasulye, beans. Evet. Onion. Soğan. Tomatoes. Tomatoes. Kırmızı biber. Evet, evet. Tencere, tomato, soğan, biber, fasulye, evet. Çak çak. This is takta, takta, evet. As you know, the language barrier and the native of the Turkish hinterland does not know Russian at all, but this didn't stand on a way of our communication and cooking. So we should cut our fasulye. Here it is for you, Mediterranean cuisine in all its glory. Healthy, natural, from those ingredients that grow literally in your garden. Evet. Everything is simple. Everything is fine. Everything is homemade. And I assure you it will be very delicious. Tamam. Indeed, tomatoes. Tomatoes. Yeah. Evet. Cubic form. The most necessary words are remembered quickly. Çok güzel in Turkey you will hear almost at every step. And these words are worth remembering. After all, it is the best way to express pleasure, delight or satisfaction. Dora, çok doğru, çok güzel. Two more key positive words that sound today constantly is tamam and the word evet. Tamam means well, agreed, and evet, yes. It's easy to cook this dish in your kitchen. The ingredients are familiar, the process is not complicated. Well, everything is quite simple so far, see? Beans are washed and chopped, tomatoes are chopped, onions are also chopped in large enough chunks, and don't forget about the red pepper. About the pepper, I can say that there is already salt added, it feels like it, and it's not so spicy. The order of immersion of vegetables in a pan is as follows: olive oil, chopped onion, paprika and salt. A little later, tomatoes. The beauty is in the pan, and the fragrance has gone all over the kitchen in general. And after the beans leave the pan, all this must be put out for a while under the lid. İgema dakika, 10 dakika, İgema 5, İgem 5 dakika. For 25 minutes, we close the lid, and in 25 minutes we can try what happened in our tencere. Evet. Depending on whether the beans are fresh or not, it will be prepared from 15 minutes to half an hour. Softness is determined by taste.
Pişmiş.
Pişmiş.
Evet.
Evet.
Gamze. Tamam.
Çok güzel. Tamam.
Tamam.
Tamam. Okay, yemek.
Yemek.
Yemek?
Yemek.
Can I already eat? Excellent. Very good, you can already eat. While in a few minutes, a fragrant dish is prepared from the shores of the Mediterranean Sea, which will be an excellent side dish or snack, and you can serve it both hot and cold. And now, when our fasulye is ready, it is necessary to tell the owner of our Teşekkür ederim. Afiyet olsun. Afiyet olsun. Fragrant dishes and exquisite delicacies in Turkish cuisine are many. In our region, bagel simiti or suzende kebab are very popular and pied with different kinds of filling and so sweet. As soon as you say rakat lukum, it becomes sweet in your mouth. Similarly, the Turkish culture itself opens to a researcher from different sides like a book of fairy tales or 1001 Nights. New amazing discoveries and acquaintances are waiting for us. This is Recipe for Friendship. Until next time on Kazakh TV.